Hey folks, welcome to my channel. Today I'm thinking to talk about how it feels to drive my car, which is BMW 330i G20 inside the city. So I have never done any video or shared my opinion on this channel about the car. So this car BMW 330i, it's a petrol, four-cylinder engine. Uh, so they call it in the code name inside BMW. It's G20. So this car has been kind of it's a latest latest generation of 3 Series. So which is updated around 3 years back. Now we have another update which is just launched 6 months back, but it's kind of mostly cosmetic update. So I got this car around 2.5 years. I think I bought this in March 2021. So been driving. So this is my primary car for commute to work or also road trips, and then so take this car out and then kind of push this car on open expressways. So, but that's the primary use case and also I commute most of the times to work post COVID in this car to the office. So it's just a 10 kilometers drive from home to office, which is through a very dense traffic. As you know, Bangalore is notorious for smaller roads, heavy traffic, potholes, things like that. So it's very hostile environment out there. So I would like to share how it feels to take this car 3 Series G20 and then use as a daily commute car and how it feels to live inside the city. So it's predominantly my observations and very scoped inside the city and driving. So and then few things about this car. Of course, I mean the primary use case, as I said already, is to really enjoy the BMW dynamics, the power, and then overall package as an enthusiast, and then is really to somebody who likes to drive the car on tight corners or open highways and good roads, bad roads, whatever, right? So this is a kind of which pleases the aspect of driving, and it appeals for those climate. Yeah. Coming back to the car, so the car is powered with 2-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine, so and which makes around 250 or 260 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque, and it gets you from 0 to 100 in around about 5.5 seconds. And of course it has a top speed of, you can, I think, really go around 250 kilometers per hour, but that's not the really use case inside city. Today we talk more about how relaxing or how hectic or how cumbersome to use this as your daily commute. Yeah. So actually, surprisingly, of course, it's a low slung sedan. It has a good ground clearance, and in most of the cases it gets you through the regular, at least Bangalore city bumps and then potholes. Only thing is we just need to be little careful while maneuvering those potholes or speed bumps. So you have to be really slow down and then make sure that you get through. So I never had an incident where I never had scrapped my bottom. So it's kind of comfortably, even big potholes or speed bumps, it's all very well taken care. Okay, let's get to the basics of taking your car and driving inside the city in a heavy high traffic zones. So to me, I think there are three factors which really contribute to the overall experience of driving inside the city. One is the agility. So how the car is agile to really cut through the traffic or pass through the traffic or maneuver inside kind of a dense traffic situations. So that is agility. And the second, how insulated the car. I think the inside cabin experience, right? So that's one of the key factors, because even to travel 10 kilometers daily to my work, and it often takes around an hour. So on good days, of course, in bad days that you can assume, but the fact is that 1 hour minimum is kind of a pretty long time inside a city with such a less travel distance. So you have to really to have a good cabin experience, which means that your noise, external noise, has to be filtered out. Should be a very less minimum vibrations and things like that, right? So the overall experience is what it matters, so that you really don't feel that hard to be inside the car for such a long time. So yeah, so that's one factor. And the third one is how easy to drive, right? How easy drive. And the easy means that, okay, how without less effort, of course, be it an automatic, of course, now all the cars are automatic, but how good is your gearbox, basically, just put it into auto, I mean, and then with maybe a eco mode, kind of things like that, where you also get a fuel efficiency on bumper to bumper traffic plus and then the car really pulls on its own, things like that, right? So how easy to drive, and which also has, I think, we already talked about the ground clearance, so that you should be comfortable, confident to take over the bad stretches of the road, things like that. So overall, I think this is how I describe and then evaluate when I see, okay, is this car is suitable to be used as a daily commute or everyday car inside the city. Now, coming back to this car, 330i, it's really lovely beast of a car on highways. Everybody knows that, right? So it's kind of with huge power, well-tuned dynamics, wonderful chassis. It's a benchmark of low-slung compact sedan that one can get. So it's really excels on highways, on twisties, and then curved roads, where it really stick to its line and pulls hard and pulls really hard. And that's the USP of this car. But inside the city, so how I use, I mean, very surprisingly, so even inside the city, right? I mean, this is a low slung sedan, as I said, and not a tall. Against the popular opinion that everybody gets a tall SUV kind of things, where, of course, it has its own advantages of advantage of you have a very commanding view, you sit really relatively higher, you have a great view, so which always helps inside a city when you're driving through traffic, so you can really have plan your driving or steer how you steer your vehicle right through that traffic. So that's always an advantage for an SUV to be at least an urban SUV or city friendly SUV, like hybrid SUVs that these days that we are getting. But and also ingress and outgress, how easily you can get into the car and then be comfortable when it's tall and things like that. So there are all advantages of a tall boy or kind of an SUV vehicles. But surprisingly, this is those sedan, low slung sedan, and very once you get inside the car, I mean, you really feel home. You really feel it's you really isolate from the world outside, because it's a very less NVH noise vibrations pops into the cabin, so you can have your conference calls, you can have your calls during the commute. It's pretty very practical, basically. It's because there's no external or ambient noise inside the cabin, so it's very quiet, and the car feels very agile because of this G20 chassis. That dynamics, as I said, not only on highway but also inside city, right? I mean, it just effortlessly takes you to the route. I mean, to your destination, basically. So it's very agile, nimble, and of course, the feedback from the steering, although it matters very much on twisties and curves and highways, but also inside city, it becomes so light. So it's very easy to maneuver, effortless. You just get so you don't really feel that amount of time that you spend inside the car, though it's very hectic out there outside. So I feel and also, so how I drive this car daily. So I, of course, there are multiple modes, but the very basic mode, the car to be driven, at least that's how I do it, is in Eco Pro mode, which actually gets you. It's kind of a very relaxed setting for the car in terms of steering feedback, or or its suspension, or how the powertrain is tuned. So it's very relaxing. It won't stretch. I think maybe it switches off one or the other cylinders to save on the fuel. But this is the mode. I mean, and it's no means a lag. So that's the beauty of it. So you put it in eco mode, and then just put it into drive, and then just operate with your throttle and brake. I mean, that's about it. And very, very interesting feature, I think most of the cars these days have, not only very particular to this car, is auto hold, right? So it really, you don't need to really apply the electronic parking brake when you stop and go, kind of a situation. So the moment you brakes it, and then just leaves your foot from the brake, so it still holds there, and until you really give a little tap on the throttle, it won't move. So these are the little conveniences which really brings a smile whenever, even if it is a very thick traffic out there. I never shy, or I never hesitate to take this car out into this urban jungle. I mean, this is really happy to do that. So yeah, I mean, if you if you look from outside, right? I mean, this is a sedan. I mean, this is definitely, as I think we talked about it. It's against the popular opinion of having a mid-sized SUV versus a sedan, and then how easy or hard it is to be inside the city. Because on highways, of course, there is no comparison at all. The low slung sedan with a body hugging to the road. I mean, that dynamic aspect is really thrilled to be experienced, and there's no contest at all. But even inside city, I find it very, very, very easy to drive, very easy to take this car. It has a great all-round visibility all over. And of course the cameras and then sensors do help you, because the helpers are the sensors are pretty accurate, and then and of course they'll warn you, they'll tell you, they show you. So it's kind of a lot of assist for you to even of course very scarily, the two-wheelers, the other auto guys, or other cars, because every inch of real estate here is very important. So everybody wants to squeeze into this last spot, so they come very close, but there's still these electronic aids will help to manage the situation. So I feel it's very refreshing to travel in this car, even it is traffic. I never get tired. Yeah, guys, I think it's all positive about it, about the whole experience is concerned. Okay, so in a nutshell, guys, I really quite enjoy driving this car inside the city. So, and I mean, of course, I mean, there's much more enjoyment if you really have a open stretch highways. So that's there. Then where you can really extract the real power or experience the real capabilities of this beast. But nonetheless, so this is really good to drive inside city. So I had a very lot of apprehensions before getting this car. Yeah, how safe or how easy it is to really use a daily commute. But yeah, so against all that, so it's pretty easy, and pretty. I'm happy that quite enjoying even inside the city. Yes, just we need to be a little careful, because though it's a compact sedan, the recent generation of 3 Series has kind of grown in length and also on width. So so yeah, that's fine. I think it's not too large, but yeah, but you need to really careful to go to a very maybe very small lanes, or of course parking is always a concern. But barring that, overall it's a thumbs up. I mean, this is great to drive inside city, guys. I try to do a little bit more detailed, a little bit of a technical experience review on a highway, with the different modes, how that performs and how it handles, how the feedback from the steering and things like that, and how the brakes feels. What is it that to enjoy a 3 Series on a open highway? I think that may be the next video about the car. Thanks for watching. See you again. Bye.